Hello, I'm Kimilia and this is KiniNews. Najib Abdul Razak is back in the Kajang Prison, where he will remain after the nation's highest court denied his review application. Najib Abdul Razak will continue to serve his 12-year jail term. This is after a 5-person federal court bench in a majority 4-1 verdict today denied the former Prime Minister's review application. Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak Rahman Sebli made up the sole dissenting ruling to allow the review. This verdict is in line with a previous decision on August 23rd last year by a different federal court bench chaired by Chief Justice Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat. The decision was to uphold Najib's guilty verdict as well as a 12-year jail sentence and 210 million ringgit fine in the 42 million ringgit SRC International corruption case. Federal Court Judge Vernon Ong said on behalf of the 5-person bench today that Najib Abdul Razak is the author of his misfortune. He also said on behalf of the 5-person bench that there has not been a miscarriage of justice in the hearing of Najib's appeal against the case before a previous apex bench last year. While hope may seem lost for Najib, the dissenting ruling has made lawyer Shafee Abdullah optimistic. Even a second review application is now on the table. The 5-person federal court bench's chairperson, Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak Rahman Sebli made up the sole dissenting ruling to allow Najib Abdul Razak's review application to quash his guilty verdict and sentence. Speaking to reporters, lead defense counsel Muhammad Shafee Abdullah said this opens another avenue in the 42 million ringgit SRC International corruption case.
But there is a possibility of another action in the court. This one I don't want to disclose yet because we want to organize our thinking in the light of the judgment which we are going to collect in a short while. And we will inform you in due course what we are doing. So it is not the end of the matter.
However, Shafee declined to confirm whether a second review application would be filed.
There is avenue that is open because there are cases that say review is not only once. If there are grounds, as long as there are grounds for a fresh review, you can always review. And the other thing is, of course, we got the United Nations as well as the pardon matter that is ongoing.
Are you going to send a second review?
He just asked me. I said, I cannot tell you at this moment. Okay?
Earlier today, Najib's supporters chanted Bosku and demanded for his freedom outside the Palace of Justice. This is after a federal court bench in a majority verdict today denied the former Prime Minister's review application. Najib will continue to serve his 12-year jail term in the 42 million ringgit SRC International corruption case. A coalition government is expected in Malacca. However, according to BN Chief Zahid, that may not be possible in every state. Zahid Hamidi today hinted that the formation of a coalition government may not necessarily occur in all states. The BN chairperson said this was because the political situation in Malacca differed from those in other states. He told this to reporters during the Santunan Kasih Ramadan program at Masjid Jamek Kampung Sungai Gresik in Muar yesterday. The UMNO president said the most important thing for the people was political stability. He added that this would translate to an influx of investment as well as economic opportunities based on better investor trust. The political scene in Malacca has been in the spotlight since UMNO's Sulaiman Muhammad Ali resigned as the 12th chief minister. Malacca is currently fully governed by BN. Malacca BN has 21 out of 28 seats in the State Assembly, while Pakatan Harapan has 5 seats and Perikatan Nasional has 2. When asked what political changes were expected in Malacca under the new state government, Zahid expressed confidence that the spirit of the coalition government at the national level will be successfully translated at the state level. Another minister has expressed shock over Kedah MB Sanusi's recent claims of his alleged maltreatment by the federal government. The latest to rubbish the claim is Sabu. Agriculture and Food Security Minister Muhammad Sabu said a venue in Selangor never confirmed the booking for an event featuring Kedah Menteri Besar Muhammad Sanusi Muhammad Noor. This is despite Sanusi's claim that the event organizer had secured approval to use a hall at the Malaysia Agro Exposition Park Serdang, but was subsequently revoked. Muhammad expressed bewilderment over Sanusi's claim that his ministry was responsible for the move. In a statement published on Facebook, Muhammad said he was baffled when the Kedah Menteri Besar said the hall rental had been revoked by the Agriculture and Food Security Minister. He said this is because the MIEPS's hall management had yet to issue any letter of acceptance. The minister also shared a screenshot showing a message that said Mardi Corp was still preparing a quotation for the hall booking. Sanusi has been claiming that he is being barred from federal government-organized events such as the upcoming Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition. In his latest claim, Sanusi said he was supposed to hold a breaking fast event at MIEPS with Kedahans living outside the state, but the permission to use the venue had been revoked. According to his press secretary Muhammad Mat Yakim, this was despite having booked and paid for the venue. Combating corruption is one of the unity government's key priorities, and what better way to send that message than doing it early in schools? Education Minister Fadlina Sidek said schools have been directed to include anti-corruption elements into their syllabus. This is in accordance with a 1998 Education Ministry circular to include anti-corruption elements in the nation's curriculum. She said the ministry is strengthening moral values across every subject taught in schools, as well as specifically refining Islamic and moral studies. Fadlina added that specific topics on the evils of corruption will be included in Malay language studies for secondary schools. In a written parliamentary response, she said in the moral education for primary schools, the value of honesty is instilled through the topic Rakyat Jujur Negara Makmur in Standard 6. Meanwhile, elements of prevention of corruption are included in Form 1 and 2 curricula titled Rasuah Musuh Negara. The minister added that anti-corruption elements have been added to civic studies both in primary and secondary school through 4 core values: love, respect, responsibility, and happiness. The Education Ministry believes that early exposure related to anti-corruption in school curriculum will educate students to hate the practice of corruption, Fadlina explained. She was responding to Tan Kok Wai, who asked about the ministry's plans to introduce anti-corruption teachings in primary and secondary schools. There is speculation that Bank Negara may hike interest rates again this year. However, Lim Guan Eng has urged the central bank to think about small businesses and individuals. Bank Negara has been urged to continue its policy of holding off on hiking interest rates through the overnight policy rate. Former Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said Bank Negara should align itself with the new policies of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's government. Lim said this can be done by focusing on Anwar's 3 key priorities. He said the priorities are to rein in any increases in the cost of living, generating economic growth in the face of a global slowdown, and combating corruption. The Bagan MP also called on Bank Negara to actively assist the government in establishing political stability. Lim said this will help investors feel reassured of a progressive, competent, transparent, and inclusive administration. He added that Bank Negara should show it has a heart for small businesses and individuals by continuing its pause of any hikes in the OPR. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.